Alright, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name is Curtis, and about a month ago, I did a video about underrated fragrances. If you missed that video, you can check it here. And so I decided to go through my collection one more time and pick some fragrances that you don't see a lot of people talking about and share those with you guys today. So if you're curious to see the fragrances that I've chosen, then let's go. All right, first up from the house of Laboratorio Olfativo, we have Veta Vero. So this is quite an intriguing take on vetiver. It's quite spicy and citrusy in the opening, and then when you start to move down into the dry down, it gets a bit more green and earthy, and there's even kind of a bit of smoky nuttiness to this fragrance, but I really love this one. And you know, you don't really hear a whole lot of people talking about this, but I would say in terms of vetiver scents, this is a pretty easy wear. It's not too challenging on the nose, and I would say if you're someone who's just starting to, get into vetiver fragrances, or your nose has just become accustomed to the note of vetiver, then this is, also a good one to start with. So basically in the top of this one, you get some bitter orange, nutmeg, and carnation. In the mid, you get some vetiver, and in the base, you get some sandalwood and musk, but it just comes together beautifully. This is blended very well, and they've done a fantastic job with this one. It's definitely one to check out from the brand, and I would say this house in general is one of those houses that's a bit underrated in my opinion. You just don't hear a lot of people talking about the house in general, but they really do put out some quality scents, and I've featured a couple other of their fragrances on the channel before. But yeah, they do great work, and they also have 30 ml options. So typically when I buy from this brand, I usually buy the 30 ml bottles because that's all I really need. But yeah, they have 100 ml and 30 mls, but I always opt for the 30 ml. But yeah, this is a great one and definitely one to check out from the house. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Veta Vero by Laboratorio Olfativo. Next up from the house of BDK, we have Wood Jasmine. Yeah, so this is one that really doesn't get talked about a whole lot, and it really should. It's so good. Basically, this is like kind of almost fresh, like fermented plum that's being soaked in a wooden barrel, and that gives this fragrance like a boozy-like quality that I absolutely love. It's extremely sensual, intoxicating, and just an amazing and stunning fragrance. And I don't see why this one doesn't get talked about more. It really is that good. But typically you see like Gris Charnel, Pas Ce Soir, Tobacco Rose gets a lot of love, rightfully so. Those are all great fragrances, but this is right up there with those fragrances in my opinion. And yeah, it's a very easy wear. This is a staple in my collection in the fall and winter time. It fits perfectly. There's a sexiness about this one that I absolutely love. So basically in the top, you get some fruits, kind of like I mentioned, that plum, and I think it has a bit of pear in it as well. In the mid, you get some florals, and in the base, you get some incense and vanilla, and it is just blended so well. It's a beautiful scent and definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Wood Jasmine by BDK. Next up, from the house of Jeroboam, we have Inul. First of all, if you're a vanilla lover, then this is one that you definitely need to check out. This is such a beautiful vanilla scent. Now it is quite gourmand smelling, and I would consider this a gourmand vanilla. So if you're not a fan of gourmand fragrances, then this may not be your cup of tea. But as for me, I'm not a huge lover of gourmands, but every once in a while I do like to wear kind of a sweet vanillic fragrance, and this one fits the bill perfectly. So basically what you get here in this fragrance is vanilla, jasmine, and white musk. Now the vanilla does remain quite prominent through the life of the fragrance, but towards the dry down on my skin, those musky notes really start to push forward. But yeah, this is a great one, and it's a very underrated one. You never hear people talking about this fragrance. But yeah, like I said, you definitely need to appreciate gourmand fragrances, because that's the direction that this one goes in. But it's definitely one to check out from the house if you're into that style. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Inul by Jeroboam. Next up, from the house of Nishane, we have Credo. Man, I love this one. This one is very robust, deep, sweet, woody, thick, and even slightly creamy. It kind of goes down the road of like Tom Ford Oud Wood. It has that DNA, but man, this one is a great one. It's a wonderful performer, as with most Nishanes, and yeah, it's definitely one to check out. But I would say that this one is, in my opinion, it's considered more of a masculine. It leans masculine. Of course, women can wear this, but in my opinion, this one leans quite masculine, and it's a scent for the fall and the winter. You know, it smells wonderful in those cooler temperatures, and yeah, this is a go-to for sure during that time of the year. I'd never wear this one in the spring or summer. It's just not really my style. But you know, to each his own, wear what you want whenever you want. It's just very well blended, subtle oud and suede that results in just a very intelligent smelling fragrance. I love this one. So basically on initial spray, you get some cardamom and pink pepper. In the mid, you get some osmanthus, and in the base, you get that oud and suede leather. And yeah, I love this one. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Credo by Nishane. Next up, from the house of Atelier des Ors, we have Blanc Polychrome. Man, talk about the perfect fragrance for summer. I mean, this one basically smells like freshly peeled lemons and oranges. You also get some green facets in here. There's a bit of petitgrain, which is kind of giving it that green flavor. And also you have some white florals in here like jasmine. Basically, I would classify this fragrance as a fresh floral citrus fragrance. Yeah, this one comes off as just very refreshing and clean. So if you live in a really humid climate, this one will work perfectly. Like for me, I live in Japan. I'm gonna be hitting this one hard, pretty much starting now, because now this humidity is really starting to pick up and hit us hard here in Japan. So yeah, this is gonna be a go-to for me this summer. But basically, you get moderate sillage and moderate projection with this one, but the longevity is phenomenal. You know, 8 to 10 hours longevity easy with this fragrance, which is quite impressive, especially for a fresh smelling fragrance. But yeah, this is a great one from the brand. And they also have a few others kind of in their summer kind of citrusy line that they have. I think they're in the blue bottles that are all really, really good and refreshing and perfect for summer. So you should definitely check those out as well. This is a great one. And like I said before, it's perfect for those hot, humid temperatures when you just want to smell fresh and clean. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Blanc Polychrome by Atelier des Ors. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And let me know down in the comments section, do you know any of the fragrances that I showed you today? And what fragrances do you have in your collection that you consider underrated? I'd love to hear about them. All right, well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.